how will I say it now? In the course of becoming famous, and then I met my late son's father. Uh, Unfortunately, my parents didn't find him completely worthy. They felt it was not that academically sound for me. Okay. But then, whew, Holy Spirit. Okay. I liked everything that he used to do to my body. I couldn't think. I couldn't think, and nobody could take me out of his hands, and nobody could take me out of his hands. And when he eventually did try to meet my parents, my father said he was not qualified. Because academically he was not up to me, as it were. But I felt, if he could give it a push with my push on, he could become better. And then he was also not, that financially, buoyant. He was all over me. He was like, he's going to be, become, the man that I would dream that will make me proud. And then we went to, I think I told him that my genotype is AS, because I've always known from secondary school, because, that's part of what you do, yes. So I've always known that my genotype is AS and everything. And then, so I did ask him to go and do his genotype and test, as it were. And he did. And then it now happened to be AS. And that's when I said, no, we can't continue this relationship. Charles Eku, if you're listening to me or if you see this video, you know that I'm not saying that, a lie. I'm not lying against you. He convinced me and said, baby, no, he believes that things will, will turn around the other way, and that he doesn't think we'll have access, that he is also try to check that some people can get lucky that they have a baby and is I need to be AS and not SS. And then that please, I should not leave him. Where is he going to start from? That he loves me so much, blah, blah, blah. That he'll be there, he's never going to leave, no, blah, blah, blah. Nothing that he done. So he convinced me, and we continued. So we had my son.
Can I hold you?
Sorry. We had my son. And just before my son was 1 year, and he fell ill. And I took him to the hospital and checked his genotype. And they said he was SS. And I started the battle of my life. And Charles turned against his own son. He didn't want to relate with my son because I had to work. I was one taking care of the bills. I was one paying the rent. I was one doing everything. Oh, goodness. I still held onto the marriage, believing that it's all right, we'll be fine. But instead, he will be going out. And I always had two mates. So if I go out and my son had crisis, Charles would just abandon my son. I remember I went to Lekki to work one time. And my son was just about 4. At that time, the hospital that we used to use was Duro Solaya Hospital on Island Avenue. They have his file and everything. I spent millions on hospital bills. Just never brought 1 naira. Just, you know what I'm saying. You know that I'm not lying against you. And then I went to work. I mean, it was when I was working. His own cousin had come to live with us. Her name is Nonso. Chinoye. She called me and said, Uncle is packing his things. So that's how Charles Eku packed his things and left and said, he can't deal with a child that is SS. Wow. So this was the same person that convinced me to stay.
Wow.
The same person that said he'll be there with me through thick and thin. He's the person that my parents said, Eucharia, this guy is not, it's not it for you.
Wow.
And as I abandoned my son, and I wasn't even home.
For you, looking back now, do you think that there were some things you ignored?
Yes.
That if you have the opportunity to go back now, if you consider those situations, you would have decided differently.
Yes, yes. They were, that's what I'm saying. What my father and my mother saw, in respect to my son's late father, they were right. You understand me? But because of what you call sexual intimacy that we already had, unduly, I was blinded. I actually did see the red flags, but I ignored them. One, for instance, somebody who didn't, as it were, have a skill, and someone who academic level was not up to mine, and then and then who was also not generating income, as it were, and those I ignored, thinking that I can beef up. You can't put in someone what they don't put in themselves. You cannot. It's not possible.
Put in someone.
So see, when God said, "I will give you a help meet for you," in the book of Genesis, meet. That's the word that is the MEET, meet. Like now, we have a meeting. I came, you're here. So we meet and we come on a path to meet. So you're bringing something, I'm bringing something. So we come and we relate on the, on the possibilities of what we came with. That is the meaning of, I will give you a help meet for you. You bring something, I bring something. Two of us.
Yeah.
So when a partner is not bringing something, the weight will become, tilted.
Yes.
Right.
So he did not bring anything. I'm sorry, I have to say this. I don't believe in. I didn't want to talk about my relationship with my late because I don't think it's gone. It's gone. But then just so that people can learn. So he knew and he knows. So, and like I say, if I had thought deeply about it then, but out of youthful exuberance and sexual intoxication, because it was good, trust me. I probably would not have been in that relationship, but then I didn't listen to my parents. And then I overlooked wisdom, which is God, and I thought, with my strength, with my power, with my ability, that I could help him to become, no.
So the first thing that got me is, why would a man, a father, abandon his health challenged child, his own son? I mean, how does that sound? Does it sound good? No matter what that child looked like, how is it possible that a father or a parent will overlook them and ignore them and run away from them? I understand that it is not all parents that can actually cope with their physical challenged children. But at the same time, you keep wondering, why would he do that? That is one. So the second thing is that I have been able to be more convinced that truly, apart from the fact that the Bible warned against it, sex before marriage is not advisable. So this is a confusion now. It means that sex before marriage can truly blindfold you of what you're supposed to know. You will ignore red signs or red flags or whatever you call it, because you are blinded with whatever you are doing together. And I'm sure the man himself would not have believed that he will back off in the middle of the road, because I'm sure he was probably clinged to her and also enjoying how much they were enjoying the premarital sex and all of that. And then in the end, the man could see that marriage is beyond sex. He couldn't face the challenges. He could not even stick to her. And another thing I want to bring out from this video is the fact that, did you not see that it will be very hard for an actress? Let's forget the actors in general, actors, especially the men, they are able to cope, because normally a woman is meant to be homey and all of that, to be home. I mean, like, a woman can decide to be home, a woman can decide to give up careers just to raise their children. But when it comes to men, have you noticed, men will be able to do this career better than the women, and they will be able to get, actor males they are able to keep to their career better than the women. How will I put it? Have you now seen that So this is why I'm not going to blame the women that are actresses or actor female. They are not able to hold on to their marriage, most of them, because it will take the real men to keep them. A real man will be able to know that, okay, maybe, when it comes to kissing, this their kissing is another issue. How can me, if I were to be a man, I'm sorry, I will not be able to cope. You may have to quit that job, or I may not even marry you at all, because I don't think I can watch you kissing and doing all of those things in movies and still come to me. I will feel jealous. So I think it takes the specially made men that will be able to marry them with their profession, coupled with the fact that these people will be traveling from one place to another. They will hardly be home. Now every man needs a woman by their side, right? They want to have their women by their side. So it will take, I don't know how Omotola Jalade, people like that were able to keep to their marriage. I understand that she had left her career a long time. Like, I mean, she has left the job the way she used to do it. It's not the way she's doing it now. She's now a boss of her own. But when she newly got married, especially when she did the movie The Prostitute, it was so, in fact, the news was all over the place that she had divorced, her husband has divorced her. I'm sure she had a little turbulence in her marriage then. Maybe her husband now stopped her from doing anything so romantic that way, because she had to expose her breast, I think, and things went out of hand. She almost lost her marriage based on what we heard on social media. I mean, based on what we heard. Thank God there was no social media then. Maybe by now her marriage will have been over. But seriously, if you're planning to marry an actress or an actor female, please be ready to keep them, because only you can decide to keep them. Otherwise, you will dispose them, because you have to understand the nature of their jobs, the fact that they will not be home. So how you going to be faithful to them is left to you. It has to be your own personal determination and conviction, and I don't know, maybe I should call it submission. You submit to the will of God over their lives. I'm not talking about the gospel actor this time, because gospel actor, of course, they travel too, but I'm sure they will be considering their marriage and to try and come home. I don't know how they do theirs, but for the female actors in the worldly movies, secular movies, it is very hard for these people, because they kiss, they hug, they do all sort of romantic nonsense. Why am I calling it nonsense? All sort of romantic activities, and then they leave their husband for a long period of time. They will not be able to come back home and meet this helpless man. So there are so many reasons they will not be able to keep to their marriage. And you would think, oh, it's because they have money, they decide to quit their marriage. Like, I'm sure maybe if it will have been like for her now, if the social media had been this bad, I'm sure by now there will be so many gossip. I know people gossip. We knew that she divorced or she left her marriage also. I don't think we knew. I think we all only knew about the disease of her son. Now this her son is the one that got me most. After all the suffering, and she still ended up losing that son. And another thing, the fact that she was still able to be a child of God up till now, and still calling on her father, and still be a pastor, and still able to counsel, and still able to preach the gospel, and still able to hold on to the Father. I give it to her. Jesus Christ. She's a genius. May the Lord bless her soul. I pray that the Lord will... is there anything the Lord can actually replace with the lost child? I don't think so. She is still pained, and she will be, because that's how it is. She can never be free from that pain until she leaves this world. Time will heal, right? Time will heal people that are wounded in the heart. But then, every time she remembers, it's still a hurt. A deep one as that is a bruise that will never be healed. It's always there, no matter how you pretend, no matter how much you try to forget it or ignore it. A child, the only one, the one she suffered to raise single-handedly. That's tough. And then to crown it all up, the issue of genotype. We understand those days when people don't care and people just... But now everybody check it. When you check it and you are put AS, please don't dare it. Even Pastor Dolapo said it one time. I saw it on this. I think I have that video. I'll put it up one day. I'll put it up soon. So it's something you shouldn't... Pastor Dolapo was like, do not tempt God. Because he said his father and mother were also AS, and they had one SS. And thank God, according to him, the Lord had used him to heal that sister of his. But then, please... do not tempt God by doing AS and all of that. Look at him now. After promising I will be there, never mind, even if we end up having SS, we'll be there. Now you run away. I mean, and another thing I want to say, these are the people that you guys are gossiping about. People they can throw these people. They can throw the actors and actresses, the way people insult these celebrities. When you get to comment section, how toxic it can be. These people have their look at the personal problem this woman is still carrying around. She had lost her son, and she's still pained. And people like you will insult her. And be careful how you throw these people. Be careful what you type in the comment section. God bless you, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you are blessed with this. I hope you learn if you are single. God bless you. Bye.